everybody, and welcome to another Dressage Addict Rider to Rider support video. This week we're going to be having a look at the free walk on a long rein. Thank you for the request, Kirsty, our lovely brand ambassador. I'm sure most of you have struggled with this at some point, so I think it would be a very popular request, but Kirsty was the only one brave enough to come and ask for it, so all credit goes to her for this one. We often neglect the walk, I think, when schooling the horses. People do it as their warm-up and cool-down, but don't actually school it. I know I've been guilty of just wandering around on a long rein, not really doing anything, just letting all the horses' muscles get moving before a session, when actually it's a really good time for you to work on what can be a really significant part of your test, especially given there's often double marks available for the... So we're going to have a little look at what exactly judges are looking for with regards to your walk and then your free walk on a long rein. What the marks are given for within the free walk on a long rein, so what pieces do you need to put together to get those top marks, and then what exercises and things I do to help improve the horse's free walk on a long rein, and how you can build those into the start and finish of your sessions. So first we're going to have a look at some of the things I've taken out of the British Dressage rulebook. Now, this rulebook doesn't actually just contain rules, it contains quite a lot of useful information. So, for example, here we have the definition of what the rhythm should be within your tests. So in the walk, there should be 4 hoof beats in a marching time. So if they're saying they want more energy and more activity, it's because that 4-beat rhythm is quite sluggish when your horse is walking. And then you have this quote about the tempo. So when you're going from your medium walk to your free walk and back to your medium walk, the horse's stride length should increase, but the tempo with which the feet are hitting the floor should not change. So you should have that same active 4-beat rhythm throughout both the walks, and it should just be your stride length and head and neck position that's changing. Next up we have the suppleness. So this is telling us why free walk is put into a test at times. So it's testing whether the horse is actually working correctly from the hind leg over the back and into the contact. So that's your starting point really. If your horse isn't working correctly from behind into the contact, your free walk is never going to be top mark worthy, because the free walk is a test of that true connection. This is a little descriptor of the walk, so it should be regular, i.e. the 4 hoof beats should all be 1, 2, 3, 4, not a 1, 2, 3, 4. You need that regularity within that rhythm. And the horse should walk out with a swinging gait, nice and actively, so that it appears free and unconstrained, in their words. Now, I really loved this quote. So this tells you exactly what is being looked for in the free walk on a long rein. They want to see a relaxed horse. They want freedom, so looseness of the reins. The horse needs to lower and stretch out, so not just out and not just down. The head and neck needs to go out and down. You need a light contact to show that the horse is taking the bit down, not just you've dropped your reins. So you don't want huge sags in the reins. And then the horse needs to be covering the ground without haste, so that means you keep the rhythm. But if your comments are saying GC or ground cover, it means your horse may be doing the neck and head bit correctly, but isn't covering the ground with the feet in the way that is required. So next, we're looking at what the marks are given for. And now, not every test, but some tests have like little directives underneath the instruction. So for a free walk on a long rein, you're reading regularity, purpose, relaxation, stretching forwards and down, the ground cover, and then the suppleness of the whole body. So that's quite a lot of things you can get marks for, but it also shows you that this is not just a simple lob around on a long rein kind of walk. This is a task that needs training and focus during the test and in your training. And then to top it all off, you often get 2 marks for it, so we really do need to be working on this movement. Now, this is a really wordy extract from the BD rulebook, but I highly recommend you go and find this in the rulebook and give it a really good read. It takes you into the detail of all the different types of walk and what exactly is defined as a good walk by BD, which is who governs the marking of all these tests. The judges are all BD registered and BD trained, so this is the basis with which they're marking your tests. It's really useful. It gives you a really clear picture of what is expected of you, and as you can see here, they give you a really detailed bit about the free walk on a long rein, which is similar to what we've just seen. And it tells you about both the lengthening of the reins, that the horse should stay there in that stretched, relaxed, ground covering walk, and then as you pick the reins up again, there shouldn't be any resistance. And as you can see here, it's page 18 and 19 of the British Dressage Rulebook, which is available to everybody for free off the website. Just Google British Dressage Rulebook and it will come up. That was clips from the 2019 book, so the pages might have changed slightly, but it's going to be there or thereabouts, page 18-19. So do go and have a read. So what does that actually look like in real life? So these two clips are from Lara doing BD the other week. She got 74 in both these tests, and both of them received an 8.5 or higher for the free walk on a long rein. So as you can see, we've done the medium walk. It's active but rhythmical and not rushed. And then as we go into the free walk, she's taking the rein down and away from my hand. The reins are loose-ish, like I'm not holding her down there, but they're also not bagging, so you can see that she is taking that contact from behind. The neck has got longer and has got lower. Her nose is level with the point of her shoulder, and she was taking much bigger, more ground-covering steps. And then on the retake of the reins, there's no resistance. She's still soft in the pole and the hand, and it gave us, I think that one was an 8.5. This one she got a 9 for, so again we've set up the rhythm. She's got a good activity within the rhythm. It's not rushed, but it's also not lazy. You can see there's purpose behind each step. And then as I let the reins out, she's going out with the nose, down with the nose, and ground covering. You can see that the back foot is stepping at least 6 inches in front of where the front foot was. And then on the retake, again, no resistance, lovely and soft. She's attentive. The mouth and the pole and the neck are soft. So what problems do people commonly have? As far as I'm aware, do shout at me if you have any others. Hollowing of the neck and back, so as I like to call it, a llama impression. The head goes up, the back hollows, and they basically run with their head in the air. Rushing, so one of my ponies, although she will stretch down, she ruins the rhythm of the walk and massively speeds up in the free walk on a long rein. Not lengthening the steps, so the head and neck stretch and look lovely, but the steps don't actually change in length. Only stretching down, so taking the nose straight down towards the front feet rather than taking it out away from the chest as well. And then the ponies that jog the minute you let go of the contact. So we'll look at how I'd correct these 5 and then exercises to develop the free walk as well. So for a horse to stretch down and out when you lengthen the rein, they have to be working correctly from the hind leg into the hand. So in this cartoon image, I'm showing where the energy needs to be coming from with the arrows. So the big long arrow, the hind leg has to be pushing up and forward so that it can go over the back with the core lifting the back into that line of energy so that it can go forward and down and out to the rein. If the horse is working correctly like this, as you gradually lengthen the rein, don't just drop them, like inch by inch, just feed them out while feeling down the reins so the horse just gradually stretches out. As you let them go like that, the horse should take the contact down and out, providing they're working correctly. Now, I'm not particularly going to go into how to get a horse working correctly from behind because, quite frankly, that's about 3 Work It Wednesdays on its own. But you just need to make sure that you are pushing the hind leg and the body into the contact rather than shortening the rein and therefore pulling the head and neck shorter and into the outline. The horse has to step forward into the outline, not the outline be created from the hand. But if people want that Work It Wednesday, like working the horse correctly from behind, just let me know and we can attempt to fit it into a short video. There might be a multiple part one that. So next up we have ponies who rush, As you can see from that transition to trot, from trot to walk, generally ponies that rush are actually behind the leg, so you need to make sure you can get more leg on them. The more they accept the leg, the more you can get it on, and therefore the slower they will be. Also, just take a quick check of yourself. Are they rushing because you're holding tension? So deep breaths out. Think about the fact that you're walking because you're chilling out at the end of a session. But if you need to get more leg on your horse, go check out last week's Work It Wednesday on tense ponies, because there's some really good exercises there for getting the pony to allow you to have the leg on. Now, this is a wonderful picture that I've stolen off Pinterest, so thank you to whoever posted this, because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get this picture of me on a pony. So this is about ponies that don't step out, like their ground cover just doesn't increase. So the judges will be looking for a difference between the length of step in your medium walk and then the length of step in your free walk on a long rein. So if you have a horse that isn't stepping forward, these arrows and stars are going to help you achieve that. So they work in coloured pairs. So the blue arrow, as the horse is walking, you can feel that there's a slight rock to the walk, like you can feel yourself sort of going left to right. You have to go with that natural rock, but rock the hip like in a forward diagonal pattern, so sort of in the direction that I've drawn those arrows. And as you're rocking, say, the right hip forward, you want to close the left leg. So you end up with an alternate leg hip action. So left hip forward, right leg on, right hip forward, left leg on. And this will just, in time with the way the horse is stepping, will just encourage those steps to go bigger and more active and hopefully increase the ground cover. You can also do the poles. So I did a Work It Wednesday on in-hand pole work. That increases the horse's flexibility within the walk, so the joints, etc., will be able to step bigger, and that will help you increase the ground cover too. But again, the horse has to be accepting the leg for you to be able to put this level of leg on. Do also make sure that you're not collapsing in the walk. So if you come back to the walk and think, whoa, breather, the pony will do the same, and therefore you won't get that active ground covering walk that's required. So this is ponies that just stretch down and not out. You'll have to excuse the random photo of Alara eating. It was the only photo I could find where a horse was stretching straight down and not taking the neck forward at all. So this would be particularly helpful for those of you that are doing your tests on grass and you're on greedy little ponies that are just stretching straight down to the grass. Use that to your advantage. So every time the horse goes to stretch more down than out, leg on. Like, I've got some ponies that will snatch straight down and then out. Every time they snatch down, I jam the leg on. So much leg to sort of push the hind leg under and therefore lift the head and neck. So you'll get that same level of stretch because they've taken the neck that long, but you just get the leg on and it should lift the nose out and up a little bit. So that can be really useful for those of you that are struggling with ponies grazing during their free walk on a long rein. Next up, ponies that jog. Thank you to Amy for this video of a slightly tense Kobe walk. None of mine are energetic enough. They're all way too lazy to jog in the walk. So for these ponies, generally this is tension induced and the fact that you haven't or can't get enough leg on because the horse isn't accepting the leg. So really think about a deep breath out through the walk. Think about squeezing the thighs and the knees together with the idea of squishing the pony down into the floor. Everything to just think, breathe out, squish down, everything slow. And hopefully that should settle some tension. A quick scratch down the neck always goes a long way to release some tension. And again, look back at last week's Work It Wednesday for getting more leg on the horse. So I hope that has helped you all a little bit, given you a bit more of an understanding of what exactly the judge is looking for and what is required of you and the horse within the free walk. Because I sometimes think that it's just used as a breather and people just let the reins long and don't actually ride the movement. So hopefully you understand a bit more what you need to do now to get those higher marks and hopefully troubleshoot a few of the common mishaps that occur during the free walk. If you have any problems that I haven't covered, do just give me a shout. I have pretty much sat on most issues that occur, so I'm sure I can help in one way or another. But yeah, hopefully that's helped, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching. Any likes, comments, shares are always appreciated, and let us know if there's anything you want covered.